It is Super Saturday here in Arizona. We've got a lot to take in. Welcome to Barrett-Jackson Scottsdale 2024. Supercars and hypercars aplenty that will be rolling across the block today. Hi guys, I'm Shmi. Hello and welcome back to the channel. We have the likes of Donald Trump's former Lamborghini Diablo that we can go and check out. Also, plenty more celebrity-owned cars that are here. Sammy Hagar from Van Halen's LaFerrari, Paul Walker's former 360 Modena, Nicolas Cage's Hemi Cuda. Plus, not only those, a G63 6x6 that I actually drove about 5 years ago is here today for auction. Also, plenty of 1960s Mustangs, and if you know the channel, you know how much I have an itch and a craving for one of those down the line, so you never know how today might go. Let's go check out the highlights from here today at the world's greatest collector car auction, Barrett-Jackson Scottsdale in Arizona. It is absolute chaos around here. Audi R8 followed by an earlier Ford GT, another car that's very much on my wish list for the future. We've got a Plymouth Superbird just here, a few of those in the auction. I want to come on through though because the big crowd up here is hiding something that stands out. The Roadrunner Superbird squeezed through. I see a new Ford GT as well. That's a very nice Camaro, but look here, Bugatti Chiron that's about to be going across the block. There are all sorts of amazing things around at this auction. This is the staging area, and as you can see, it's pretty busy. All of the cars getting their final prep, engine bays open, cleaned and tidied before they're going to be rolling over the block. And yes, that's a Lexus LFA Nurburgring Edition, one of only 50 and definitely on my dream car list. So I'm going to be curious to see what this goes for. But I tell you what, there's a ton around, so let's go for a walk and see what we can find. This is another that is absolutely on my wish list. 2006 Ford GT, Bumblebee specification, yellow over the black stripes. This thing, I think this is probably a 4-option car, upgraded wheels, painted calipers, sound system. What else do we have? Yes, the painted stripes, of course. So this is an absolute stunning example of a car that I would love to add to the Shmi Wheels in the future. So hey, let's keep our eyes on it. A couple of them have been going for more reasonable prices than the past recently, so I will be watching this market very closely. A GT2 RS goes past, followed by a Superbird. You can see the crowds here are pretty packed. There's a lot going on. Got the TV action, everybody around. And that's where they enter to go up on stage, which I actually got to join in on last year. We have to take a quick look at what's going on here, of course. From Craig Jackson's personal collection is his Bugatti Chiron and his Bugatti Veyron, matching pair with the dual tones, very nice. And behind, I think just parked up, are FJ Miller's Chiron Pur Sport and Rimac Nevera Time Attack. That's one of 12 at the end of the electric Croatian hypercar, one of 60 of the Bugatti Chiron, and then of course one of the 500, let's say regular, but the special Chiron in its own right, I gotta say, and of course the Veyron, which was an icon. Very nice to see. There is a nice one coming out the door right now, the Porsche 918 Spyder in acid green. Look at this thing. Of course, I love to look up these cars on Exclusive Car Registry to know everything about them all, but one of 918, only a handful in the acid green, which was really the halo icon color of the 918 Spyder. This particular car has a slightly checkered past, let's just say. More information about that over on ECR obviously as well, but look at it. Look at it. What a cool thing. There are a ton of Marshalls around, but there's also a 488 Challenge car, 488 Challenge race car that has stopped the show in here. I just find it funny because there are literally like 10 or 15 marshals and police kind of blocking everything off. This is one that we have come to see, as the sign says, formerly owned by Donald Trump, this 1997 Lamborghini Diablo VT Roadster. This is called Blue Le Mans, this paint color. It was the only one in that year. Of course, it is a gated manual. Sorry, can't quite see that from where we are at the moment. The removable Targa panel up on the roof. After Donald Trump though, he had it for around 5 years. It then belonged to my friend Steve from Interstate Motorsports, who sold it to, I believe, the current owner, who is now auctioning it today, which is quite exciting. Yeah, it's cool to see, and later on, we're gonna see what it goes for when it hits the block. What luck with the timing. I think it's literally about to be started and roll out. Doors, of course, Lamborghini style. Let's wait for it, and we'll get a nice little V12 startup. As the signboard above literally tells us some of the info about the car. 5.7 V12, 500 odd horsepower, 5-speed manual. one of 132 produced between 97 and 99. That sounds pretty flat to me. It's going to need a jump pack, I think. Uh-oh, oh well, it happens. So how many people does it take to jump a Diablo? I think there are 2, 4, 6, 9 people. Apparently quite complicated. Is it going to start? Is it going to start? There we go. The crowd love it as well. Diablo has been jumped. All right, so it's pretty busy around here. I'm going to squeeze my way out and try and figure out how this is going to go in a second. That is actually crazy, the crowd that's behind the car here. Sounds good though, looks good. Amusing because my Ferrari Purosangue is in Blue Le Mans, which is obviously a very different Blue Le Mans to the Lamborghini colour we have for the Diablo there. That is also very nice. Sold straight off the block. The GT40. Love it. Sounds amazing. This is a cool little lineup right now. We've got the Corvette. There's a 300 SL Gullwing right behind. Ferrari F12 TDF over on this side. And a Lamborghini Countach right behind it. Not a bad little set of cars right there. All heading down towards the block. We've gone full circle and I found it again. The Diablo coming through. I'm really interested to see what the Donald Trump effect is on this particular Diablo. Nice contrast interior. He's doing all right with the clutch there. All sorts of music and vibes going on out here, as you'd imagine. And the car drawing quite the crowd. Oh, that's quite funny. I hadn't spotted in the rear window before. Listen to that burbling away. It's absolute carnage as the cars come through here. Just the amount of people around, especially when that blue Lambo turned up. As you can see, everything else is almost uninteresting in comparison. The difference between the Countach and the Diablo. Gentle on the clutch there, sir. Oh yes, the beast is arriving. The Brabus G63 6x6, Brabus G700. I drove this car in Beverly Hills, the beast of Beverly Hills. It actually used to be owned by Dan Bilzerian back at the time. I'm sure you remember Dan. One of, I think they made a little over 100 of those in total. How many got the full Brabus treatment? I'm not entirely sure, but this one is such a massive thing. It's still hard to believe that Mercedes G actually managed to make it this thing. As we come past, there's still a massive crowd here at the Diablo, but I wanted to see this and I'm intrigued to see what it goes for because like I said, I drove it, well, years ago, back in 2019, I think it was, 5 years ago, I got to be behind the wheel of this thing with Wiresonly, who is well connected out in the California scene for these types of things. Got the white leather interior, the full Brabus wide star kit. It's got a different grille. You can get a black grille at the time, back to chrome on it now, but the full carbon wide arches, off-roading setup. Inside, look at this, the white carbon around the central console areas. What a monster. The 918 just crawled on behind. Oh, Diablo going forwards, behind the Gullwing. Right in the thick of it here. Right in the thick of it. We're getting some baby revs from the V10 and the R8 GT. So this is the final Audi R8, the second gen GT, with the swan wing on the back, the very aggressive diffuser, and of course a nice view through the window. So the V10 tucked back there. What is that thing? Look at that coming past. It's a completely different take on a 6x6. What on earth? There are so many ridiculous custom vehicles that come through here. That is loud. Wow. Sneaking through here at Shelby American, this is the GT500 KR, the king of the road, tribute back to the 60s version. They also did one back in around 2008, but they launched this a couple of years ago after 60 years of Shelby. 60 cars for the model year 2020 car, 60 cars for the 21, 60 cars for the 22, but a host of upgrades on the GT500. For example, Whipple supercharger for 900 wheel horsepower. Yes, you heard that right. New intakes, a whole load of new parts as well. Take a look here. We've got the new hood with the hood vent kit. You can see going on up there. There's a gurney flap on the back, this being a non-carbon fiber track pack. So taking the GT500 after 60 years, 1962 to 2022, and giving it all of these mad upgrades, limited edition, of course, as well. Very, very cool thing, and I love seeing it. I would have loved to have done that full upgrade kit, but it did cost $55,000, I want to say, for the full conversion package. This particular car, with lots of the names and signatures all over it. Very nice thing to check out. Also here is the SuperSnake Speedster that they made. So the convertible Mustang, but with the rear deck for that Speedster type look, along with all of the other upgrades that you would expect on such a thing. What power is this running? 825 horsepower, again, Whipple supercharger, and a very aggressive front end. What I said earlier about 60s Mustangs, that is nice. GT350. Sounds unreal as well. In fact, let me dart past it. 475k. I mean, yeah. Proper original heritage color scheme. Lovely, lovely thing. So check this out. Here, taking a look at model cars, loads around, and I come to this cabinet and take a look at what we've got right here. That is one of those. The Shmee 150 Tarmac Works Mini GT Shelby GT500s, the Shmeemobile, here on sale at Barrett-Jackson. That's cool. Always check the halls because you never know what you might find. This is Hellbug, the Bugatti Veyron Grand Sport Vitesse that belongs to quite an epic collection, to be honest. Having a live stand demo here. That's nice. Looks cool. Like the L'Or Blanc, the original Veyron paintwork they did like this, with all of the details. That is actually painted red and black like that on the 1200 horsepower Bugatti Veyron convertible. I am glad to have found this, the Ferrari 360 Modena that belonged to the late Paul Walker, of course a legend of the car community from all of the Fast and Furious franchise movies and just his passion for cars. I've actually been lucky to drive one of his R34 GTRs that belongs to my friend 458 Destroyer before, but this was his Ferrari 360. I imagine it's had a number of owners since, can certainly see that it needs a little bit of paintwork and some touch-ups, but it's sold for 130k, so I guess a bit over market value, given the provenance. It actually sold with some of his original registration and insurance documents that proved that this was in fact his car, sat here next to all sorts of random different things. As you can see, I mean, we've got a Cobra and we've got a lifted truck just beyond. The variety of cars at the auction. Well, the Corgi is checking out the car I'm coming to take a look at. And, well, I wasn't going to say the GT350 convertible that we have here, as lovely as it is, but this is VIN 1 of the Mustang Dark Horse in the launch colour, Blue Ember, which, as I've always said, looks amazing. The same as I filmed when it was launched and I first saw it actually out here. But this is one of the charity auction cars that Ford Performance have donated and will be going across the block at the end of the day today to raise funds for the charity that they're supporting, as they always do out here. As you can see, 2024 Mustang Dark Horse VIN 001, lot 3003. This is literally the first chassis. They've been holding on to it after selling the first of the new Mustang full stop last year, but this time around, the Dark Horse chassis 1. Look at that, literally. Very cool. High spec MSRP actually. This has even more options on it than mine does, I believe. Very nice. Look forward to seeing what that's going to raise a little bit later on today. Oh, have I found a pair and a half here, but this is a bit of me. The 67 Shelby GT500 Mustang Fastback in this color green over the beige stripes with the beige leather interior. What did this sell for? 285k. That is beautiful. Imagine this in my garage alongside the lime green new generation GT500 that I have. That is stunning. Of course, this is also pretty nice. 69 Boss 429. Again, Mustang Fastback. One day I need one of these. Hard to spend, what, 330k that went for. But that is a bit of me. That is probably the car that I would choose of this. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. There is even an Aston Martin DBX in the auction. I'm actually quite surprised somebody's popped that in. Also the BMW i8, and over here is a Vantage F1 edition. Only 456 miles, basically new. This is such a mix of cars, the American muscle cars and Euro stuff. I mean, there's a Mulsanne right here. How random is that? And then we've got a GT500 KR, the original. That's only 150k. Interesting. Green suits these well, doesn't it? 1968 Shelby GT500 KR. I do prefer the styling of the 67s to the 68s. I mean, these things changed basically every year back then, but the front end of the 67 is the one that stands out the most to me. We go from the earlier GT500s to the newer GT500s because, of course, as an owner of one of these, I'm very interested in what the prices do, and this is basically a delivery mileage 2022 model with the carbon fiber track pack, which is sold for 135k. Two others that sold here, one at 146k, one at 147k, and that's very interesting because I bought mine for effectively MSRP, which was about 106k a couple of years ago, which makes it one of very few cars I've ever owned that's only ever gone up in value. And the others, coincidentally, I think are also Fords. The Ford GT, the Ford Shelby GT500, and the Ford Focus RS Heritage. And probably every other car I've ever owned has gone down. Also interestingly, one of the GT500Hs, the Hertz rental cars, of which I think they only made around 25, which was over there, has been auctioned as well, and that sold for 198k, which is kind of cool to see. Obviously not many of those in private hands, so big demand continues for the GT500s, which is amazing to see because it is a brilliant car. Quick one here because obviously I always love it, the Mercedes SLS, 210k for the SLS AMG Gullwing, going up in value, and next to it a split window, what's that, 435k. I suppose we shouldn't be surprised, lots of demand for the split window Corvettes, and they look very nice too. Maybe I shouldn't be filming them, they're common. Another split window, and if you don't know why, it is because of course this rear window is split with the dividing blade down the back, although I'm not convinced that helps with rear visibility, not necessarily that matters too much, because they look so good. This is a Viper ACR Extreme, and extreme is the word because there's an 8.4 litre V10 in here, and a manual gearbox, and a picnic table. Or maybe this is one of those cars where you buy a wing and it comes with the car, something like that, and a splitter, a wedge around the front. On the Viper ACR Extreme 2017, obviously those things are absolute savage track monsters. We've got the Bugatti Chiron. Welcome to the hall with the block. The Chiron is up. Crazy. I can never understand a word. But I think Sammy Hagar's down there actually. Somewhere on the stage for the auction. What are we at? 1.5 million. 2.7. We got 2.8, or are they going for 2.8? Yeah, 2.8 is gone.
2,700,000, 150,000, yes or yes, and 2,750,000 all through. So for 2,700,000.
$2.7 million for the Bugatti Chiron, and off it heads. That was cool. We're straight on with the Lexus LFA Nurburgring Edition. It's crazy how long it takes for the cars to go through the staging. They're opening up the engine bay. I'm not sure exactly how many there are. This is where you need to load ECR to check, because they just told us 64, but I'm not sure if it's that many. I have to check myself anyway. I'm not sure where this is going to go, because LFA market prices have been settling recently. They've gone crazy. They've started coming back down a touch. We'll see in a second. I was just saying that the LFAs were settling in prices, and look at this. We're at $1.5 million at the moment. Maybe in spec car. Let's see where it's going to end up. Not bad. That's stronger than I thought. The next is going to be interesting as well. The Porsche Carrera GT. This is like a guessing challenge for me. We're at $1.4 million. I thought we would end at 1.3. Oh, it's gone back to 1.3. That was my guess for where this would end. Maybe 1.4, because it's only 3,000 miles. But these were 2 million 2 years ago. They have definitely settled down since. Wow, they've got 1.45. Low mileage, yellow car. Really nice. Again, that would have hit 2 not very long ago. Let's see, are we going to have the hammer? Wait for it. They got a bid of 1.5. So 1.7. This would be an awkward place. Oh, I was going to say to stall it, but they're pushing it, so no getting stalled.
Be synonymous with Barrett-Jackson. Bought and sold his collection here.
Congratulations to Ron Pratt on his purchase. So that 765 LT Spyder just sold for $800,000, but we're now onto the F12 TDF. See what that's going to go for. The fun of the bidding here is that we've got bidding down there, we've got bidding up here, Somebody up here has been bidding a few times. It's all going on down there. Yep, they blow the whistle when they get a bid. No, time out, time out. TDFs are epic cars. My preference even over the Airtel Competizione. What are we at, 1.1? Oh, we've got some bidding. We got bidding. I don't know what the gestures and signs mean. But the whistles are fun. The bidding, the drama, the excitement. Oh my god.
Go ahead.
Sold.
$1,225,000.
Nice. I think I know where that's going. I think I know who just bought that. Cool. Exciting. So that is now an $800,000 765 LT Spyder. It is amazing to see the money that commands. It is a very heavily MSO'd spec. You can see carbon fiber wing. We come around here, check out the interior of it as well. All of the details that have been added there, including the MSO embroideries and everything else going on with it. Carbon fiber bonnet, or hood, perhaps I should say. One of 765 LTs. And yeah, sold for very strong money at the auction here. I didn't actually catch what this sold for. 500,000. Wow, that's strong money. And that sounded good, whatever that was. 500K for the 4-option Bumblebee Ford GT. That's strong, considering some of the cars that sold for much lower amounts during this. We've also got the pair of GT2 RSs, 901.2 Speedster over there, and obviously the LFA is back as well, the LFA Nurburgring, and the TDF, of course, now that they have crossed the block. I hadn't really noticed that the front section of this is actually blue tint carbon fiber, so full exposed carbon. Then you've got the blue leather inside, the blue brake calipers, blue manifold cover parts as well, even the blue EE logo on the back, and that is sitting on a foreign gold car pad. The trio of car pads just here, that sold for strong money, just shy of $3 million. The CGT sold for 1.7, very impressed by that. Certainly the low mileage helped reach that figure at the auction.
I was lucky
We've got Bill Goldberg here.
And lucky enough to have two
He's about to
sets of
be
these beautiful
introducing his
cars.
own car, so we've got the Demon
The
170.
218 pops a wheelie and they upped it by 200 horsepower.
Cool.
And they traveled 2 tires up off the ground halfway down a quarter mile.
20 and 410 and 420 and 410 20 and 420. I'm gonna hit you with my gavel. And 410 20 and 420 and 420 pounds and 90 and 420 pounds and 90. Anybody else ground out to get over here in and out. And 420 and 420 pounds and 90. 420 and a half. Sold for $410,000.
Nice, good sale. There's actually 2 cars together there. I think with the option for the buyer to have them signed as well, if they wish. It is time for the 6x6.
AMG 6x6 Brabus B63 S700, ordered new in Germany. Got all the Brabus modifications. That includes a custom designed ECU, larger two-row enclosures, new intake air pipes, gold heat shielding, additional air to water.
Look, the 918's behind.
Performance upgrades 10.
I want to see what this is going to go for. Numbers are climbing.
And 650 and 700 and 700 and 700 and 770 to get down 700,000 down to get down 700 and 700.
So we're only at 650 so far. Let's see what happens. I think everything here is no reserve, so I'd have expected more for that car.
800,000 down, 800,000 down, 800,000 down and a half. Is that a yes? 800 is bid. 825.
That was dramatic. 800 we have.
$1 truck. You know that.
Sir, you saying no. 825, 825, 825,000 down and out. I'm going to get all through, all done. 825 and a half.
Sold for 800. It's going to be really interesting to see where this goes. The Acid Green 918, like I said, it has had a bump and a front end repair. So let's see. Still low mileage, but let's see.
600 is bid.
1,600,000. So 1,600,000 is not bad money for the 918 Spyder. Sold for 1,625. I'd say that's okay for the car. It's not bad. Lovely colour, but
super savvy, make some noise if you got
yeah, very cool. Lovely car heading to a new home. The 300 SL is doing good money. We're over $2 million for that. For the Gullwing. Beautiful classic configuration. Stunning car. Yeah, we're at $2 million. So will we go to 2.1? Falling to 2.1 right now. And then look what's coming next. Stay tuned. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be very exciting. There's a lot of atmosphere in the room. It's loud. It's buzzing. I mean, look at the number of people here. It's like being at a sports event. Massive US flag. The noise, the drama. Wow, we hit 2.5 million on that. Let's keep it going, keep it going. Where's this going? Woo. There's lots of clapping in the audience. 2 people really want this car.
First 1 to 3 million wins. You want to just get that first round and 3 million.
Listen to the crowd. Wow. Legitimately like being at a sports event right now. We're at the Super Bowl, people.
And 3 million 2. You want to take big bites. And 3 million 1, 3 million 2. And 3 million 2. Ron, thanks for what you did in a half.
So 3.1 million. 3.1 million, sorry. Wow. Crazy, that was exciting. And now
Donald J. Trump's 1997 Lamborghini Diablo GT.
the excitement in the crowd.
There we go.
That is actually hilarious. It's like being in a rally. It's like being in a political rally, the excitement in here. That's brilliant. Let's see where this is going. Bidding is go. This is insane. I wonder how much over it's going to go because it used to belong to Donald Trump. Already at $500,000. 600,000 is bid. Wowzers.
700 pounds down, I'm gonna get down 7 on him here. And 7 to get down 700 pounds down, I'm gonna get down what you want to pay. And 7 now 8, and 7 to get 8, and 7 to get 8, I'm on the phone, 7 8, and 7 to get 8, 8, 8, I'm gonna get 800 pounds down, I'm gonna get all through 800,000 and 900,000.
So 800 has been bid.
On the internet, and 900, and 89, and 89, and 900,000.
So they're going for 9. Is anybody going to bid 900,000?
950 and 950, 950.
This is hilarious.
$1 million on him here to get $1 million. Now I'm going to get $1 million on him here to get what you want to pay. $1 million on him here to get $1 million. $1 million bid. And $1 million.
People are so excited. I mean, we're in the right place for it. This is the right place if you're going to put Trump's Lambo for sale.
Sold. $1 million.
Oh, brilliant. That was worth the wait. I knew it would be exciting. That's $1 million Diablo. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. It's what everyone wanted to see, and now there's a mass exodus of everyone leaving. That is literally what everyone was waiting to see. That's crazy. It's like the final whistle of a game. Everyone's leaving. It's done. Wow. Oh, madness. Back looking at some of the memorabilia, and this is exactly what I need to do with the spare parts that I have from my McLaren Senna. I've got the wing, the door, and some random bits, and make it into a frame like this from the parts that I still will retain forever, just because that is a really cool thing for the garage. I like what they do here. I really like what these guys are doing here. I'm back in the memorabilia and automobilia areas. Look at this, with spare car parts and the frame. It's an idea we've thought about many times for the spare McLaren Senna parts that I still have from, well, now about 5 years ago. But it would be really cool to one day fabricate a frame like this to house all the parts. I like what these guys do. Very nice furniture, really cool garage stuff. I'm liking it, and I especially like this. I found myself some more Shelby GT500s, and coincidentally at the same time, we have the 67 on the block, red with white stripes. We'll see what that goes for in just a second. Track Pack, the original GT500 SuperSnake of the older generation, Heritage, and that is the GT500H, the Hertz car, in black with the gold stripes, one of only 25. It's got some of the Shelby upgrades, like the gurney flap at the back, different boot lid section to mine, Shelby American 60 years, Hertz badging. First time I've actually looked, it's got a different exhaust on it as well. Hadn't spotted that before, different exhaust to my car, I believe. Obviously based on the non-track pack, but this sold for, what was it, 180k, so 198,000, including the 10% premium on top. Very nice. And that is selling for a few $100,000. I'd love to be in the room right now. Stunning thing. I really, really would love one of those one day. What's that going to go for? I guess I'll let you know in a second. Sold 295,000. So it's 295, obviously plus 10%. But yeah, nice little line. Some of these have actually sold for less money. These are both in the region, I believe, of about 130, 125, 130, including the premiums. I don't think that thing is loud enough. That's absurd. Absolutely absurd. Full drag Zacopo Camaro, okay. What the? I don't even know if you can hear me. That thing is seriously loud. I didn't see it crossing the block, but Dark Horse VIN 001 sold for 350k, it says on the sticker, although on the app, I'm just going to show you, it shows 300k, so I'm not sure exactly what it was, but either way, very cool, lots of money raised for charity, and that car, the Blue Ember, with the 6-speed Tremac, like mine, as opposed to the 10-speed Auto. I think it looks really nice, especially with the painted stripes over the hood. Nice details, very, very good thing for Ford to do, popping that into the auction. It is nice to see a new Ford GT selling again for 1.25 million, and that's not a carbon series or a liquid carbon car or anything like that, but still commanding big, big money. I'm just envious of the 500k for the Bumblebee spec on that car. Well, we're back with this, which was one of the stars of the show, selling for $1 million or 1.1 million once you've added the fees to the top of it, which is easily double what it should be normally. The Donald Trump effect here in Arizona, of course, as well. Without trying to get too political, it's been quite interesting to see that going through the block, being sold out here. And yeah, obviously just taking it all in. Big part of the show, as it says, the only one that year painted in this particular color, and a car that generated a huge amount of buzz being part of the auction. Donald Trump's Lamborghini Diablo. Would love to see it with the roof off, to be honest. Get a full view of that thing. What a thing to see today. What an experience. What an opportunity. Finally found the Nicolas Cage 1970 Plymouth Hemi Cuda. Very cool thing. Very cool American thing next to a European equivalent. Ferrari 365 GTB4 Daytona Spyder. That's a Scaglietti conversion for that car. And I mean, it goes on. There's a Bugatti Type 57 Stelvio, the Mercedes-Benz 540k Special Roadster next to that, Rolls-Royce Silver Race beyond that. You kind of see the point here. There are some lovely cars around, all part of this auction, including some fairly famous celebrity-owned cars. This day has been crazy. There are so many things I would have loved to have seen. It's been Super Saturday, and it has literally been super. But the number of different cars, I don't think the LaFerrari was actually here. As it happens, there was something that meant it couldn't go through the auction to get some things done before it will be sold in the future. But there have been so many other things going on, and the drama and excitement of the whole thing. I mean, we're standing in front of more memorabilia, and I remember looking around here last year. All of this stuff is what I absolutely love for the garage, and probably if I came here with an open budget to go exploring, I would end up with far more stuff than I probably should. But I have enjoyed this day here at Barrett-Jackson Scottsdale an awful lot, and I hope you've enjoyed it as well. To see the $1.1 million former Donald Trump Diablo amongst so many other crazy cars. 300 SL selling for $3 million. million. Mad money. The Carrera GTs, LFA Nurburgrings, all of the other supercars. It's been a very fun day. I'm going to wrap it up for there though, so thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video. That's it for this time though, and I'll see you again next time when you never know, maybe there would be a 60s Mustang to add to the Schmeemobiles. That's it for now though, and I'll see you again soon. Cheers!